Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That 40-ish and under dollar range. Most of these are way less than that. And a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. So I decided to come up with what I feel like is an appropriate list for this time of year. And that's 5 fragrances that are very fresh, at least average. Most of these are much more than average as far as performance goes. And in my personal experience, garnish serious positive attention, compliment gathering kind of fragrances. So in no particular order, let's just kickstart things off with one that really made a name for itself, and for good reason. It barely needs any kind of description, but I'm going to go over it like you guys don't know what it is anyhow, and that's Suqraat Hawas. As you see, I have the clear juice, and it smells identical to the dark purple juice. Apparently for like 2 years, they came out with this one in like 2022, or maybe right before they came back out with that dark purple juice. And yeah, so look at the dent in this bottle. I have not wore this thing in a while, and that's part of the reason. And that should tell you really something about this fragrance. It doesn't, the atomizer cap does not click into place real well anymore. I mean, I've had this for a little while. Heavy cap, good atomizer. I don't want to spray it. It's a lot like Versace Dylan Blues atomizer. Real nice, heavy dose of mist comes out. Kind of directional, but a lot, and it's nice and fine. So this is a very, very juicy, aquatic, sweet, juicy, aquatic, fresh fragrance. There's like bergamot, there's plum, a good heavy dose of that sweet juicy plum with the watery notes, a little bit of cinnamon giving it some spiciness, and some musk. And I think there's ambroxan and sandalwood in this thing. I get a good little sandalwood dose in the dry down, and the musk starts to come out pretty heavy about 45 minutes or an hour into this thing. If you overspray this one, the cinnamon and the musk will become a bit much. It won't vibe that well. So kind of in this one, in a sense, less is more. You'll probably get more compliments because it is kind of loud. I'm getting about 7 hours out of every time I wear this thing. But if you do too much, it kind of turns into like a synthetic mess. It smells great nonetheless, but there's something about the cinnamon and the musk, I think, that can be a little bit off-putting, but still smelling very wearable and very good at the same time. So just be mindful of that, because it's loud. You don't need a lot of sprays on this one. And Suqraat Hawas, still readily available, and hopefully I get the ice here soon, because yeah, I'm almost out of that one. So from what I understand, that's like a fresher version of this. Up next, we will go with one that some of you guys may know about, and some of you guys may never have heard of this thing, and that is Jacko's Baogart's Silver Scent Pure. I've talked about this thing a couple times. The atomizer on this thing is like a sneeze. It's absolutely terrible. Kind of has a little bit of a grape soda vibe, but it's got grapefruit and mint. A good dose of mint, like that Polo Sport mint, like the original Polo Sport kind of a mint thing with that grapefruit. Some nice, beautiful white orange blossom flowers. And the dry down, again on this one, the dry down, the musk starts to come out a little bit heavier, but the main players in this is the grapefruit, the mint, and the white florals. Makes this a super invigorating, fresh, somewhat sweet. This has a sweetness to it. Again, like I said, it has almost a cherry soda or grape soda vibe, a little bit, but on that much fresher side with the grapefruit and the mint. Performance on this one is about a 6 to 7 hour fragrance. It's kind of loud at first, but man, I've gotten some good compliments with this thing. And this one fella, man, he wanted to borrow this thing all the time. He loved it. So Jacko's Silver Scent Pure, nice fragrance, about 20 something dollars too. Find it on I think you can get it like Amazon, stuff like that. But I digress. Up next, one that I got not too long ago, pretty late boarding the train on this one, but better late than never, especially for a fragrance like this. And this is LFA Sucat Acqua di Gio Profumo clone, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very, man, let me just get the opening on this thing again and experience this again. I've been wearing this one a lot lately. Super, it has that bergamot ginger pop. That ginger gives it this extra crispness up top. It's nice and crisp with that ginger and the bergamot and the ginger. Aquatic, a little bit woody, got like some kind of a faint hint of an incense note in this thing. It's very alluring. It's a modern day twist on Acqua di Gio. If you like the Acqua di Gio kind of things, if you have never smelled Profumo, Profondo, and all of them, they stay real true to the Acqua di Gio DNA as far as being a very fresh, aquatic, citrusy, dominant kind of a fragrance. And this one is all that. It just has a little more depth. It's a little bit darker and richer than that one. It's a little bit classier. I'll say that. It's slightly classier while at the same time still being very, very wearable and great for just lounging around casually. But it's just something about the sparkliness in this thing, like a hint of fresh spiciness. And like I said, there's some kind of a very, very faint incense note, in my opinion. Not even listed in this, but I think it actually is in Profumo. And this thing has that. It smells great. Performance is a little bit above average, but man, this is a compliment style fragrance that just completely works. And like I said, there's already a dent in this thing, and I haven't had this thing more than a month because I wear it a lot, and I'm going to keep on wearing this thing a lot. Like I said, ginger, bergamot up top, aquatic, crisp, clean, uplifting, hint of woods in the base. A little bit of florally touch. It's a very, very, very wonderful smelling fragrance. And up next, another one that needs very little introduction, and I just had to put it in here. I don't care how cliche or redundant it is. I try to keep it real and honest, and it's still very relevant today. The original Club de Nuit Intense, man. Yep, the original. I decided to go with this one because it's the least expensive. And it does it. It does the job. The opening doesn't really bother me. It did at first. Because this was one of the first fragrances where I was really starting to build my collection a lot. And I heard a lot of people talking about how harsh the opening was, and they're not wrong, but it doesn't bother me. And again, 10 minutes after that opening, just let that harshness go away, and man, you got that beautiful black currant, lemon, pineapple, rose, rich, just amazing, dark, fresh at the same time, smoky fragrance. A lot of people don't talk about the rose in this thing. There's a clear rose note in here. This black currant is in there. You can easily pick it up. The birch, you can easily pick it up in here. The difference between this and the limited edition, if you have this one, you don't need to run out and get the limited edition. You don't have to at all. Wait till this one runs out, because if you get the limited edition expecting it to be this huge difference, you're not going to get that. It will be redundant. Just to be honest with you, is limited edition worth the money that it is? Absolutely. It is 100% worth it. Is this one worth $27 or whatever you're going to find it? Oh, yeah, definitely 100%. This thing is just about a beast in performance. You're talking 10 hours with this thing. Compliments day and night with this thing. It works no matter what, wherever, however. It's easy enough to wear if you're going to a concert or whatever, or for the office. It's classy enough that it works in a business setting. This is just one of those fragrances that no matter what will work. That's why it's so popular. That's why the Aventus style is so popular, because it's tried and true. It's old faithful. It just works. There's something about that just enough fruitiness with the crisp opening, that black currant giving it that mature vibe, the rose giving it this almost like a warm heart with that smoky birch, and Broxton, which just garnishes attention and compliments for whatever reason. It works. The difference between this one and limited edition is, of course, the quality. The limited edition is great quality. There's still some sharpness in the opening. If you're expecting no sharpness, you won't be disappointed because it's got lemon, which in most cases is sharp, but it's a very good, natural, believable lemon. It's the quality on that one is just unreal for the price. It's really, really good. But I mean, like I said, if you have this one or if you don't want to spend like $50 and you want that style, this will do it all day long. There's other good options, ones that I don't have, but they're still very good. Like Ryan Tradition has one, Insurrection 2, and Insurrection 2 Pure, which is the Aventus clone. There's I'll put the picture right there. That one, a very good one for the inexpensive price tag, but the one that I have in my collection that lasts a long amount of time, that's why I put this in here. Yep, it'll do it. And last but not least, a love of mine that, again, I haven't worn a long time. I just recently wore it as my scent of the day to revisit it, and I love this thing. I need to get another bottle. This is definitely, in my opinion, on my shelf, it's a backup bottle kind of a fragrance. And this is Aaro Chrome Extreme, the Acqua di Gio Profondo, basically clone, a little bit different, a little metallic twist with that chrome DNA. Look at where I'm trying to show you where the juice level is on this thing. Should give you a pretty good indication of just how much I enjoy this thing, how much time I've spent with it. So I've gotten to know this fragrance quite well. It is mandarin, juicy, aquatic, juniper berry, a little bit of cashmere, and some amber. And that amber giving it that sweetness in this thing, paired up with the aquatic and the mandarin citrus, just makes this thing such a scrumptious, compliment pulling, long lasting fragrance. This thing lasts. I go nose blind to this thing because I was wearing it and like 6 hours later, 7 hours later, somebody's like, man, you're always smelling good. I'm like, dude, you can still smell that? Because I went on a car trip somewhere and they're like, yeah, I smell it clearly. So it's one of those kind of things. This particular fragrance works best, I would say, in the daytime, but it's got enough character that I think that it would do just fine at night. I wouldn't quite call it a date night fragrance, but overall it will work for a date because there's something so alluring about this thing. It's one of those ones that it's got that sparkle in it. It has, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what exactly the note is that's doing it. Maybe it's a combination between the juniper, the wateriness, the juniper, and the amber that's in the base of this thing. That sweetness with a little bit of sharpness from the juniper and the aquatic nature keeping it fresh, that just like kind of turns heads and makes people, hey, what are you wearing, by the way? This one. If you want compliments, this is one of the ones that can do it for sure. And again, it lasts a long time, extremely affordable. This is, in my opinion, at least a top 3 for sure, if not the best smelling in this Aaro Chrome line, or like it has the most, I don't know, this thing just does it. I love the way that this thing smells. I'm not going to stop saying that, so on with it, right? Good smelling fragrance. Aquatic, citrus, fresh, that amber, giving it that little bit of sweetness, but still working awesome for the high heat summer daytime. Casual, somewhat formal kind of a fragrance. So that's 5 fragrances that just work so well in the high heat that actually last a good amount of time and will not only be good smelling on you and for your own personal scent bubble, but everybody around you is really going to enjoy the way that you smell. So with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed, take care of yourself always, and until next time.